Role-based access control, RBAC, in Azure provides a systematic way to manage permissions by assigning roles to individuals or groups. These roles grant specific capabilities, allowing only the necessary access to perform tasks across Azure resources. In previous lessons, we addressed user creation, group management, and the significance of Azure's built-in roles. Building on that foundation, role assignments clarify who can perform actions on which resources. By assigning roles at different scopes, administrators can ensure that security is enforced consistently. When assigning a role, key elements include the security principle, user, group, or service principle, the role definition, and the scope. Understanding the interplay between these elements helps maintain a well-structured cloud environment. Properly designed role assignments protect sensitive data, minimize unauthorized changes, and simplify compliance efforts, thereby benefiting any organization striving to maintain best practices in Azure identity and governance. Azure organizes resources into distinct hierarchies: management groups, subscriptions, resource groups, and individual resources. Each level offers the possibility to assign roles. When roles are applied at higher levels, such as a management group, the same permissions flow down to all subscriptions under that group. Correspondingly, subscription-level roles propagate down to resource groups and individual resources. Understanding this hierarchical structure is critical because role assignments at a broader scope can have far-reaching effects. For instance, assigning the owner role at the subscription scope allows the assigned entity unfettered access to all resources underneath. By contrast, assigning a narrower scope provides more precise control. Administrators should evaluate their organization's governance model to determine if centralized or more granular assignments are appropriate. This approach aligns with the principles discussed in earlier units, such as strategic user group management and the principle of least privilege, ensuring efficient and secure role distribution. Subscriptions in Azure serve as containers for billing and resource provisioning. Assigning roles at this scope has implications throughout every resource group and resource under the subscription. Common roles at subscription level include owner, contributor, and reader. As established in prior lessons like Manage built-in Azure roles, the owner role confers full administrative privileges, including the right to assign access to others, while the contributor role allows resource modification but not advanced permission changes. The reader role provides view-only privileges, enabling monitoring without altering configurations. When deciding on subscription-level assignments, administrators should map the responsibilities of individual teams to the required level of access. If a team is responsible for all resources within a subscription, granting them contributor rights at this scope ensures uniform access. However, if teams need specialized access limited to certain departments or resource groups, narrower scopes might be more suitable for security and governance controls. Resource groups serve as logical containers that hold related Azure resources, such as virtual machines, storage accounts, and databases. Assigning roles at the resource group level offers more precision than subscription-wide assignments, enabling targeted permissions for specific project teams or departments. For instance, a project group might have contributor privileges on a resource group containing the workloads they manage, while another team receives only reader rights for monitoring and troubleshooting. This approach supports on-demand collaboration without granting unnecessary access across a broader subscription. In earlier lessons, we discussed group management strategies and external user collaboration. These strategies can be extended by assigning roles at the resource group scope, controlling third-party or partner access more securely. Each assignment at this level cascades to every item within that group, ensuring consistent permission sets across all related resources while preserving flexibility to tailor role assignments to different organizational units. For absolute granularity, organizations can assign roles at the individual resource level. This approach is particularly relevant when a resource must be accessible to a minimal number of operators or specialized role. For example, A database administrator could be granted contributor privileges for a specific Azure SQL database instance to handle schema changes, backups, and performance tuning, without broader visibility of other resources. Similarly, a security auditor may only require reader access to a particular virtual network to review configurations. Resource-level role assignments complement enterprise security policies by minimizing potential blast radius in case of compromised accounts. However, managing a vast number of separate resource-level assignments can become complex, especially in large environments with thousands of items. Administrators must balance the desire for granular access with maintainability and clarity. Techniques covered in previous sessions concerning user lifecycle management and group-based role assignment help streamline such granular allocations. Central to Azure security is the concept of least privilege, where users, groups, or applications receive only the level of access required to accomplish their tasks. By systematically applying roles at the most appropriate scope, whether subscription, resource group, or individual resource, organizations reduce the chance of accidental or malicious activities. This principle resonates with earlier discussions on user and group property management, where we emphasize precision in assigning capabilities. For instance, granting an entire development team broad subscription-level permissions might introduce unnecessary risk if their tasks relate solely to a single resource group. Instead, scoping their access tightly prevents potential data breaches and mitigates internal threats. In day-to-day operations, applying least privilege means regularly reviewing existing role assignments, auditing access rights, and adjusting them as roles change or new services are introduced. Tools like Azure Monitor and Activity Logs can help track anomalies and ensure alignment with established policies. While built-in roles like owner, contributor, and reader cover many common scenarios, certain environments require unique combinations of permissions. Azure allows you to create custom roles to tailor access precisely. By defining a set of allowed and disallowed actions, administrators can craft roles adapted to specialized job functions or compliance directives. For instance, a custom role might permit reading diagnostic logs and restarting services, but prevent resource deletion. In previous topics, we explored how Microsoft Entra ID and Azure roles intertwine for identity governance. Extending that framework with custom roles helps fulfill organizational requirements when off-the-shelf roles fall short. Creating custom roles involves specifying the underlying permissions in a JSON template. Then, roles can be assigned at any scope. When implementing custom roles, thorough testing is crucial to prevent unintentional overexposure of resources. Regular reviews ensure that roles remain tightly aligned to evolving operational and security needs. Azure role assignments inherit downward from higher-level scopes, creating potential overlaps if multiple roles are granted. For example, a user might have contributor access at a subscription level, but also be assigned the reader role on a specific resource group. Azure's RBAC merges permissions, allowing the user to retain the superset of privileges. Consequently, diagnosing permission sets can be complex if multiple overlapping roles exist. Administrators should track assignments carefully and use tools such as Access Control, IAM, in the Azure portal to inspect inherited roles. When structuring assignments, it is often helpful to avoid duplicating roles across different scopes unless absolutely necessary. Clarity in naming resource groups, roles, and assignment rationales assist in identifying unwanted overlaps. Audits of role assignments should be a routine part of broader governance processes, ensuring that new roles do not inadvertently amplify privileges beyond what is intended for a user or group. The Azure portal offers a graphical interface to assign roles at various scopes. Administrators can navigate to a subscription, resource group, or resource, select Access Control, IAM, and choose Add Role Assignment. A list of available built-in or custom roles appears, after which you can select the security principal, either user, group, or service principal, and finalize the assignment. The portal streamlines the process by displaying relevant scopes and clarifying what permissions each role includes. Some organizations use nested groups to simplify large-scale deployments. In such cases, group membership includes new resources or roles automatically. The portal also highlights any potential conflicts or inherited roles, helping administrators identify overprivileged settings. After completing the assignment, administrators can verify the new privileges using the Check Access option. This hands-on portal method is suitable for smaller environments and teams that prefer a visual approach, though scripting options offer scalability for larger deployments. Automation and scripting often replace manual portal configurations for repeatable processes. In environments where administrators regularly create or modify roles, Azure PowerShell provides commands to manage role assignments seamlessly. One common script sequence flow might involve loading the Azure PowerShell module, authenticating with Connect-AZ account, and using new AZ role assignment to create a new assignment. For example, PowerShell role assignment, object ID, principal ID, /, role definition name, contributor / scope / subscriptions / subscription ID. This script grants the contributor role to a specified principal within a subscription. When dealing with custom roles, the role definition name parameter can reference the custom role name. PowerShell allows robust integration with CI/CD pipelines for consistent role assignment. Administrators can store scripts in version control, review changes through pull requests, and apply them automatically. This method underscores the importance of stable governance habits, building on earlier lessons about streamlined user and license management. Azure CLI is another popular method for automating or scripting role assignments. It offers a consistent cross-platform experience for users who prefer Bash or ZSH environments. With Azure CLI, the process starts by signing and using AZ login. Once authenticated, you can assign a role by running a command like bash AZ role assignment create / assign principal ID / role contributor / scope / subscriptions / subscription ID. The assignee parameter can take the object ID of a user, group, or service principal, while role sets the role definition, such as reader, owner, or any custom role. The chosen scope ensures that the permissions align with subscription, resource group, or resource boundaries. Integrating this approach with script files simplifies mass role assignments across multiple environments. Tying this into other Azure CLI commands supports broader deployments, aligning with best practices in identity governance learned previously. For infrastructure as code, IAC, scenarios, Azure Resource Manager, ARM, templates can define role assignments alongside resource deployments. This method ensures that newly created resources adhere to the correct access model from the start. An ARM template can include a type, Microsoft, authorization / role assignment section, specifying the role definition, scope, and principal ID. A simple snippet might look like JSON type, Microsoft, authorization / role assignments, API version, April 1st, 2022, name, GUID, subscription.id, parameters, principal ID, reader role, properties, role definition ID, resource ID, Microsoft, authorization / role definitions. ACK 727338548EF4260607. Principal ID, parameters, principal ID scope, subscription.id. In this example, the user or group identified by principal ID automatically receives reader privileges at subscription level. Version controlling these templates assures that each resource environment consistently enforces identical role assignments. Coupled with automated pipelines, ARM templates offer both consistency and repeatability in enterprise-scale Azure deployments. When assigning roles at different scopes, organizations should adopt structured strategies that combine security, maintainability, and adaptability. Group-based assignments often simplify handling large user populations rather than assigning roles to individuals. Reviewing and updating role assignments regularly helps ensure that inherited permissions do not accumulate over time. Using custom roles judiciously clarifies specialized needs while keeping the environment straightforward. Additionally, leveraging logs and diagnostic tools to track changes in role assignments can reveal excessive privilege or unauthorized adjustments. By segmenting resources into well-defined subscriptions and resource groups, administrators can align role scopes more closely with organizational units or project boundaries. Deploying role assignments through scripts or templates fosters consistency across development, test, and production stages. As new resources and services come online, ensuring alignment with established role assignments avoids confusion and potential security pitfalls. These practices extend beyond single-scope configurations to sustain a coherent governance model. A role assignment map is a useful technique to document which roles are assigned at various scopes and to which principals. Typically presented as a table, it identifies the subscription, resource group, or resource, the role definition, the assigned principal, and the justification or description of responsibilities. Below is a sample format. Scope role principal description. Subscription A contributor dev team group manages all resources RG. Finance RG reader finance auditors monitors billing data resource. VM01 owner VM admin user full control on VM mapping assignments in such a structured manner builds on earlier lessons about group management and license coordination. It reduces confusion over overlapping privileges and provides an at-a-glance governance reference. Regularly updating this map as changes occur keeps administrators informed about the overall identity and access configuration.